While the Beckham family drama continues to dominate headlines, even more fuel is being added to the fire. Brooklyn Beckham's exes are now speaking out, and their accounts cast Victoria and David in a far from flattering light.
Like, it's really rough.
Let's start with Talia Storm. She's a Scottish singer, influencer, and reality TV star, and also Brooklyn's teenage girlfriend long before the spotlight became this intense. The two met through mutual friends and started dating when they were still teenagers. Talia was just 16, navigating early fame, while Brooklyn was trying to figure out who he was outside of his parents' very large shadow. You can already see where this is going. Fast forward 10 years and Talia is reopening that chapter, very clearly taking Brooklyn's side. Speaking to the mirror, she didn't mince words, saying that Victoria didn't like me. And she backed it up with a story that honestly sounds painfully awkward.
Nothing comes in the way of our family and nothing comes away in the way of our children.
Talia recalled an incident where she and Brooklyn were meant to attend the Global Gift Gala, hosted by Eva Longoria, a close friend of Victoria's. Everything was set. They were excited. She was already inside the venue. And then last minute, Brooklyn messaged her to say he couldn't come because his mom wouldn't allow it. That was it. No appearance, no explanation, just canceled. Talia admitted that moment made things pretty clear to her.
I don't know.
She added that years later, her interactions with Brooklyn have been nothing but positive, saying, "Every time I've seen him years on, he's so cool, so lovely, no big deal." But that's the example of a PR storm that was just so unnecessary. Talia also opened up about the very first time she and Brooklyn were publicly spotted together. She was performing at a London gig, and Victoria reportedly sent a security team earlier in the day to check the venue. Talia said she found it a bit excessive, but went along with it. That night, Brooklyn arrived with security, and when they left, around 20 paparazzi were waiting outside. Suddenly, what should have been a normal teenage relationship turned into a headline-generating moment. Looking back, Talia says that association followed her for years. She believes it contributed to her being labeled as fame-hungry, something she's worked hard to shake off. Describing that period now, Talia said, "It's like a bit of a sticky web and not something I ever want to engage in." And really, it's easy to understand. Having a teenage romance follow you around in the headlines is exhausting. But Talia isn't the only ex weighing in. Afton McKeith, who has claimed to have had a fling with Brooklyn Beckham years ago, has also spoken out, saying he was telling the truth in his explosive statement about his parents.
A lot has happened to get to this point where he feels the need to come out and make a post like that, and much of it is the truth.
Afton, an actress and the daughter of TV personality Gillian McKeith, described growing up in the public eye as incredibly difficult for Brooklyn.
There are two sides to every story, but I do know that it was challenging for him, being scrutinized constantly. He suffered from anxiety. He felt like the world was constantly waiting for him to muck up. His parents should have protected him more and thought more about the family rather than just brand Beckham.
Despite being constantly in the spotlight, Brooklyn would often get upset when his picture was taken and frequently needed security. Afton added he never got angry. He doesn't have that type of personality, though he was often frantic and anxious. Afton also touched on the struggles he faced when his parents were frequently away, saying that despite having nannies and siblings around, he felt isolated.
And I think that being in front of the public eye constantly made it even tougher.
She also shut down rumors that Nicola Peltz wrote his statement, insisting it was his own, thoughtful, deliberate, and from someone who has had enough.
I think Nicola is great for Brooklyn. This is genuine, true love. He's an intelligent man. I do feel that the family drama should have been kept private.
So let's break down what actually happened because there's a lot to unpack here. Brooklyn, the eldest son of David and Victoria, says he's reached a breaking point. After years of staying silent, he claims he felt forced to speak up after what he describes as continued press narratives coming from his parents' side. In his words, he's not trying to stir drama. He's trying to defend himself.
He's a good boy.
He wrote that he spent his entire life watching controlled narratives about his family play out in the media, and that when it came to his relationship with his wife, Nicola Peltz Beckham, things crossed a line. According to Brooklyn, his parents have interfered in his relationship since before the wedding, and he says it never stopped.
It definitely takes a toll on you mentally.
And here's where it gets especially messy. Brooklyn alleges that Victoria Beckham was supposed to design Nicola's wedding dress, only to cancel at the last minute, leaving Nicola scrambling to find something else. But publicly available details tell a different story. Nicola ultimately wore custom Valentino haute couture in April 2022, and according to Vogue, the gown took more than a year to create, with multiple fittings and trips to Rome. Her stylist even called it the ultimate couture experience. That timeline doesn't quite line up with Brooklyn's version, and that contradiction has people asking, who's telling the truth here? But the wedding drama doesn't stop there. Brooklyn also claims that weeks before the ceremony, his parents pressured him to sign away the rights to his name, something he says would have affected not just him, but Nicola and their future children. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since, Brooklyn wrote. Then there are the moments he says happened behind the scenes. Brooklyn alleges that the night before the wedding, members of his family said Nicola was not blood and not family. He also claims that once he started standing up for himself, attacks followed, privately and publicly, including alleged social media pressure from his brothers before communication suddenly stopped altogether. And then there's the incident that shocked a lot of people reading his post. Brooklyn claims that during what was supposed to be his first dance with Nicola, the moment was taken over. According to him, Mark Anthony called him to the stage, where his mother was waiting instead, and the planned romantic dance turned into something entirely different. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone, Brooklyn wrote. He added that he had never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in his entire life. He says those experiences were painful enough that he and Nicola later chose to renew their vows, simply to create memories that felt joyful rather than stressful.
Brooklyn's truly like my best friend.
Brooklyn also describes ongoing tension afterward, including attempts to reconcile. He says they traveled to London for David's 50th birthday, only to be left waiting for days, and that the only meeting offered came with one condition: Nicola couldn't be there. He says that was a turning point.
We have each other, we have each other's back more than anything.
In his words, brand Beckham comes before everything else. Brooklyn claims public appearances, posts, and image matter more than private relationships, and that support is measured by how well you fit into the family's public narrative. He also pushes back hard against the idea that Nicola controls him, calling that story completely backwards. In fact, he says stepping away from his family has improved his mental health. Brooklyn shares that anxiety he's lived with since childhood has eased, and that for the first time he feels peace.
I've always wanted to be a young dad. It's like been my dream. I would love to have a family soon, but whenever my wife is ready.
Then, the very next day, David Beckham weighed in on CNBC. Not directly, but in a way that many felt spoke volumes.
I've always spoke about, social media and the power of social media, for the good and for the bad. They make mistakes. Children are allowed to make mistakes. That's how they learn. So that's what I try to teach my kids. But, you have to sometimes let them make those mistakes as well.
And just weeks before all of this, fans noticed David and Victoria weren't following Brooklyn on Instagram. Speculation spiraled until Cruz Beckham stepped in, saying his parents didn't unfollow Brooklyn at all. According to Cruz, they were blocked, just like he was.
All the kids are amazing. I mean, they're really good kids.
So what do you make of all of this drama? Which side are you leaning toward? And do you think reconciliation is still possible or has too much happened?